So recently I just finished my debut EP. It's called Circles, and it's a body of work that I've created for the first time that I'm most proud of. I started incorporating all of my analog instruments and bringing that into the electronic world and having this beautiful synergy of electronic music and real instruments to bring this kind of indie electro house kind of dance music to the world. Let's do this. When I was in high school, I used to play in bands, and that led to lots of lengthy recording sessions, collaborating with a lot of other musicians, and then eventually I made the move into electronic music, and this is where I really started to get into production. I started throwing a lot of house parties and socializing with a lot of people who really were loving the music, and the music became much more of an element of these parties. This is what got me into DJing. I started DJing with like a laptop, and I think I had a DVD player where I could play CDs and I could mix between these in a very clumsy way. Eventually I got some better gear when I had a bit more money, and DJing was what really took off my performance career. I performed in a bunch of clubs in Sydney, and now that I've moved to Hong Kong, I've performed all around Asia and other parts of the world as well. This led to some great opportunities. I had the pleasure of warming up for Booker Shade, Breakbot, Mr. Bill, Ben Pierce, and many others. I think one of the greatest experiences that I've had as a performer is playing in places that aren't too big, but not too small. You have this perfect synergy where there's just a few hundred people in the room and the energy is just amazing. One of my favorite clubs in Hong Kong is Vola, where I DJ'd as a resident there for a few years. And there was just some nights in there that were just magic. You could repeat the same exact set on another night and it would totally fail. But on this specific night, that song selection, that crowd, the energy in the room was just... I don't have the words for it. Creating this EP took a lot of work, a lot of discipline, coming into the studio day after day, just chipping away at it until I had something that I was really proud of and really happy with. The first track on the EP is called In My Mind. This is really evident of how I was feeling because I was really stuck in my mind. I was stressing out, I was thinking really internally, I was going everything alone, feeling like I was the only person going through tough times at the moment. And the second track on the EP is Circles, and this is where I started coming out of that funk and just kind of getting on with things. And this track was a lot more lighter, a lot more uplifting, and kind of things came full circle where I was like, stop feeling sorry for myself, stop whining and complaining, and just got on with things. So much was going to plan. I had the music finished, it had been mastered, it came back, it sounded great. I had my strategy all in place. I had my release date planned. It was going out on all the different platforms. And then I received some pretty bad news. In July, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer. I still had this goal in mind and my strategy in place. So I was then forced to kind of juggle these two worlds. I'd already set the date, I couldn't change it, it was going live. So I needed to figure out how I could balance going through my treatment. It involved surgery, I had to go through chemotherapy, I lost all my hair. You know, it was a pretty traumatic experience, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that there is nothing else I would rather be doing. I still come back in the studio when I can and when I'm fit and when I'm able. I still want to make music. I just published a track recently, which was the first piece of music that I've made since the release of my EP and then since my diagnosis. I shared the title with one of my close mates, and the track said, "Don't Let It," and in brackets it had live. And then he wrote back to me in a text message and he said, man, that looks like Don't Let It Live. And I was like, that's quite cool. And it's actually almost a little bit like me talking to my diagnosis or my, you know, where I'm at in this stage. And it's like, don't let it live, like get better, get healed, you know, like I have to heal for, you know, my art, the people around me. Oh, sorry. Yes, is everything recording? It is, it is, it is. Let's do this. It's one of the best tracks I've ever made. I think it's amazing. I'm really, really proud of it. I'm really happy with it. I was just in the zone when I was making it. And I think that really is a bit of a testament to my career a little bit, because there's no shadow of a doubt that I should be doing anything else.